Because that speaks volumes of what mineral exploration is, right? Because when people think, I use the term, people think mineral exploration is like overnight success. Oh, great, they've announced this great thing, it just happened. But it's all the work that was done by, today's world was by previous guys, but they didn't have previous guys to work from. They had to create that. And mineral exploration, you drill one hole, fantastic. 8 holes later, you're thinking, geez, we spent all this money. And lo and behold, the 10th hole, which is the Olympic Dam story, was they had, I think it was 200 or 300 metres of sulphate mineralisation and going 2% of copper or something like that. And whereas the first hole, they didn't even know they had copper at the bottom. They didn't see the core.
No.
Like that in the book you were saying. They didn't even know until they handwritten essays came back and says, oh, we got this copper in there.
Yeah.
So in that sense, they didn't even know what they had, and when they did see the numbers, they didn't even know how to work it out.
No. The model that they had was sediment-hosted copper, basically. They expected to find it in the cover, sitting on fault blocks of mafic rocks, and of course it was in the basement. And interestingly, they didn't tell anyone for many years, for some time, that it was the basement where the discovery was made. There were people scrambling up to the Stuart Shelf, once the first news came out, but they still didn't know whether they should be drilling the basement or looking in the cover. There was a bit of that competitive subterfuge going on. But but the model was that copper's coming out of the basalt, out of the mafics, and there was a copper source. It just happened to be somewhere else. And I don't pretend to know the latest thinking about IOCGs and everything about how they get there, but they went in there with an idea that there should be metal here. There's a reason, there's a mineral system, there's a mechanism that says that we can expect to find some metal here, and they just happened to find it in the basement rather than the cover. So
it's when you just that last few sentences you talked about, and I've had a lot of conversation with companies, with Coffee Samso and things like that, and they all seem to fall recently that they're looking for these deep cover stuff. They're looking for deep structures, which is what Western Mining was trying to work, and they're trying to figure out where could we find what could bring this up. And you comment, they just knew that there was metal there, just didn't know how, where to drill. And then eventually when they got it, they're still scratching their heads. But so in that sense, it's the mineralizing system that they're looking for, not the actual metal, right? They're trying to find where is the cooking pot, and then let's go and figure out what's in the cooking pot. Yeah. Was that transferred in your conversation with these guys?
Yes, it was. Yeah, like some people would say, oh well, Western Mining was a bit of a lucky accident, because they went there looking for sediment-hosted copper, and they ended up with an IOCG, which really wasn't really a category of a mineral system at the time. So it was just a lucky hit, but it wasn't. It was, as I was saying, they had worked out that there should be a mineral system there. They went all over Australia looking for basalts that had enough copper in them in the first place, and then evidence that copper had been, leached out or ordered out of the system somehow. So they really were working on mineral systems, in the 1970s, before people would really, mineral system became a thing in 1990s, with Leslie Wyborn and her colleagues at Geoscience Australia. So, but 20 years earlier, Western Mining was thinking mineral systems was how to find copper in a really decent amount of copper in a new place that would give them, the success they